Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger is blaming pills and her leadership position on the Real Housewives of Potomac for the reason why she had her DUI, her fourth DUI. Married to Medicine star Dr. Heavenly is issuing a public apology on her most recent Married to Medicine recap. But is it truly genuine?
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday we recapped the latest episode of Married to Medicine, and we had recapped all of the fallout from a live that Dr. Heavenly decided to do on Sunday, where she referred to gay men as not real men, B men.
What it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, if somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying? The guys that is kind of soft, but real men are gonna feel like, you know what I mean? Straight men are gonna feel like if you tell my wife to shut up, I'm gonna have a problem with it. I mean, that's just it is.
Since then, she posted on her social media an apology saying this: "I'm with you. I apologize. It was an ignorant statement. I'm a grown ass woman. I can admit when I'm wrong. I didn't mean it that way." So we unpacked this the other day. Now she's issuing a video statement, and this was during her recap.
I love y'all. I'm just emotional right now because and again, let me apologize for what I said before. I made a lot of people feel uncomfortable about something I made, and it was mistaken. And I want to say I apologize. It was an ignorant statement I made about, being a real man, or whatever. I want to apologize for that again and again. Y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I didn't mean anything by it, but it doesn't take away from somebody I might have hurt their feelings. So I will apologize for that again and again and again. I was wrong. That was an ignorant statement. And I recant that whole thing.
And again, she says she didn't mean it that way. Here's the thing. Do I believe that Dr. Heavenly hates gay men? I don't believe that, but I do believe that she has antiquated, ignorant ideas about gay men. And I told you, I'm sure she just got caught out there saying something that she always says, maybe not on camera. And her own friend, Funky Dineva, confirmed that when he addressed the issue on his YouTube channel.
The Dr. Heavenly thing again, or whatever. But I'm actually going to bring it up because it's been bothering me. It has been bothering me. It's been bothering me for the last 24 hours. And so, as a result of, Dr. Heavenly's comments, you guys can go back and find them in reference to gay men not being real men or whatever. And she didn't mean it like that. And listen, in being friends with Dr. Heavenly, she's made comments like that before, in my face. She's made comments like, oh, if a man called me a bitch, my husband would probably fight, but he probably wouldn't even get mad if one of the gay boys did it or whatever, because it's not the same. He don't look at you like y'all not like a real man, or whatever the case may be. Look at it sideways, keep it moving, choose to address it and fix it, keep it moving, whatever the case may be.
Funky is confirming that this is something that she always says. And look, that's his friend. He could decide who he wants to be friends with. Me personally, I'm around women that respect me as a man. And I think some of my friends sometimes gets into like, oh, hey, girl. And they're like, oh, I don't want to call you a girl. And I'm like, I get it. You don't mean it in a derogatory way. You're like, girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. But they're conscious of it. And they're apologetic about it. So I know that there is no malice. And I know that Dr. Heavenly probably doesn't have malice. But it's those little ignorant things that could become problematic in the future when it comes to respecting someone. If you watched her recap, I only got to see some of her recap yesterday. You could definitely tell her energy was different. And it could be because of the amount of backlash that she had received from that statement. I think she's just so used to saying that. And she's just been elevated so much from doing these recaps and talking on YouTube And there's been no repercussions from some of the problematic things that she says on her YouTube channel. That this was the first time that for her, she's been really towing the line this season. You saw this in this week's episode of Married to Medicine, where they were trying to now all of a sudden be behind Quad and we shouldn't have blindsided you by bringing Sweet Tea on the show. You're all saying that now because of the backlash that you received from the Quad Squad in regards to how she was treated last season. That's the only reason why you guys are doing that. Because I think you would do it again if it means ratings for you guys. Speaking of ratings, Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. We recapped that yesterday with our friends Layla Lynn and Grace Report. If you missed it, be sure to check that out. We also talked about Karen Huger and her 4 DUIs. We found out over the weekend that the prosecutors confirmed that between the years of 2006 and 2011, Karen Huger had a alcohol-related traffic stops. Okay? Back then. So this technically would be her 4th DUI. They also said that they believed that Karen Huger's rehab stint was more like a luxury resort than it was an actual rehab. Well, now In Touch Weekly is letting us know Karen Huger's legal defense in regards to her sentencing that happens tomorrow. So this is what they're saying, and this is actually quite disturbing, but we should not be surprised. I think this is just Karen showing us who she really is, not taking accountability. And I know Karen over the years has lied to us, has not taken accountability, but we're not talking about her personal marriage or an affair or her lying about the girls. We're talking about someone getting behind the wheel of a car that could have taken her own life, but more importantly, taken someone else's life. And if we don't check this now, she will do that in the future. So In Touch says this. Karen Huger argued the stress of losing her parents and providing, quote, responsible leadership on the Real Housewives of Potomac led her to taking more antidepressants, and she believes this played a role in her being arrested for driving under the influence, In Touch can exclusively report. So she's saying the reason why that she got behind the wheel of a car, inebriated by antidepressants and alcohol, is because of a leadership role of being on the Real Housewives of Potomac and the losing of her parents, which at this particular point has been several years ago. Although when you lose someone, it could feel like yesterday. I understand that. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, Karen, who's 61, asked a Maryland judge to go soft on her at her sentencing on Wednesday, February 25th. And look, here I go twerking on the fence. Anyone that's in this position is going to want this and argue the case. But she's taken no accountability during the season within this legal case. She has taken no accountability. The charge of reckless driving was dismissed. The Bravo star was accused of driving her 2017 Maserati into a tree. Officers believe that she was under the influence of alcohol and placed her under arrest. As In Touch first reported, Karen recently fired her old legal team and hired 2 new attorneys to represent her in court, David Martella and Barry Helfel. David and Barry asked the court to postpone Karen's sentencing previously set for January due to her checking into an out-of-state rehab program. Now, in a newly filed motion, Karen's lawyers argued Ms. Huger's mother died on Thanksgiving morning in 2017 of kidney failure and sepsis. Her father died 7 months later on June 28th of 2018 from the complications of Alzheimer's and of a broken heart. Those 2 losses in quick succession were for Ms. Huger personally devastating and, in her opinion, may have been the straws that broke her back, arguably leading to several errors in judgment that led to her arrest in this case. Karen's new lawyers pointed out that they did not represent her in the trial in 2024. They said Ms. Huger reports that it was during the trial that she first saw the body camera footage of her demeanor and coordination. I don't believe this. I don't believe that Karen did not see this body cam footage before trial because they were trying to get the body cam footage dismissed. We're not dumb. But I understand putting this stuff out to the media, people that don't know the case, that have not been following the case, they were like, oh, she didn't see it until trial. No. Of course, anything that the evidence that the prosecution have, they're going to give it to the defense. We remember I reported to you that Karen Huger was trying to get the body cam footage dismissed. The judge said no. So she knew what was in that body cam footage. And even if she didn't know, Ray Huger was there. He was sober. He could have told her, I don't know, Karen, if you want to have this go to court. Ms. Huger reports that it was during the trial that she first saw the body cam footage of her demeanor and coordination. She had suffered a concussion from the exploding airbags, along with the alcohol and medication. She reports that she was shocked with embarrassment. The court will also note that Ms. Huger did not testify at trial. For many months, Ms. Huger was hoping to explain that she believes that she drank in moderation. However, her difficulties that evening were the product of a combination of alcohol and a prescribed antidepressant medication for depression. However, Ms. Huger eventually acquiesced to the legal advice of her counsel, indicating that such circumstances might be mitigation, but it is not a defense. This is because the taking of such a strong antidepressant medication can amplify the effects of alcohol on one's coordination. The taking of that prescribed medication is not a defense to DUI. To the contrary, it is more of a reason to avoid consuming alcohol before driving, they added. Karen's lawyers said that Ms. Huger's reports when she started taking the prescribed dosages of the medication following her R in college, she felt that she was able to continue to drink in moderation in social settings. However, over time, the loss of her parents and the pressures of being in the public eye and the stress of providing responsible leadership on the TV show continued to wear at her well-being. Over time, the dosages of medication went up, probably beyond prescribed recommendations, but the drinking in moderation remained the same. As she explains, I was taking 1 pill after the assault, and then I began taking 2 after my parents' death. I appeared to be in control and no noticeable issues that I was aware of. In the motion, Karen's team detailed the night of her arrest. They said that she went to dinner with her friend and had champagne with dinner. In hindsight, she's concerned that the medication combined with alcohol impaired her ability to accurately assess her coordination on March 19th. During the trial, she could not turn off the testimony or the body cameras. She could not get up and walk out of the room, nor look at her phone. The trial was a wake-up call that inspired Mrs. Huger to take the dramatic step of entering a 28-day inpatient rehabilitation program, Beachside in the West Palm Beach. The court is probably very familiar with the dual diagnosis treatment programs. Ms. Huger refers to her time at the Beachside as a triple diagnosis program dedicated to treating alcohol abuse, drug medication abuse, and trauma, they said. Ms. Huger took her last dose of the antidepressant medication on December 28th, the night before she checked into her residential program. She reports that the 4 nights later, she woke up completely drenched in sweat as she went through withdrawal. In response, the prosecutors pointed out that she had 2 prior DWIs and DUI convictions, plus a third one that was pled down to a reckless driving. So that goes back to what the prosecution was saying that happened between the years of 2006 and 2011. The government continued that Ms. Huger is extremely lucky that neither her nor anyone else was seriously injured or even killed during this incident. In spite of this, Ms. Huger does not appear to have taken any steps whatsoever to take accountability for her actions on March 19, 2024. In the 9 months leading up to the trial, she did not enroll herself in any type of alcohol treatment program or support group. And literally, this could be used against her. I don't think they will. They don't really need to. They already have enough against Karen. Literally, after her conviction, when asked by production on video that they shared during the reunion, do you think you have a problem with alcohol? She says, no, I do not have a problem with alcohol. Let's be clear. They said that she did not enroll in any type of alcohol treatment program or support group. Instead, the defendant spent 6 days at the Miraval Resort in Arizona in August of 2024, which her former defense attorneys depicted to the state as a holistic wellness program. Miraval is not a rehab or counseling center of any kind and is rather quite simply a luxury spa. They said Ms. Huger then enrolled in a private recovery program at the Beachside Recovery Center in West Palm Beach, Florida in January of 2025, only after being convicted for the 3rd time of driving while impaired under the influence. Beachside Recovery is described on its website as a luxury alcohol treatment center. The prosecutors asked the court it is therefore the state's recommendation that Your Honor sentence the defendant spend to 2 years, suspend all but 6 months of executed incarceration, followed by a period of supervised probation. In addition, they want her to have to install an interlock device on any car she drives and complete a Mothers Against Drunk Driving Victim Impact Panel and submit to additional alcohol treatment programs that the court sees fit. In January, Karen's rep, Ryan Tresdale, said that Karen had entered a recovery program and would not be attending the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion taping. Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today, the statement read. She was fully supported in this choice. We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her of taking a significant step forward in her personal growth. After she was found guilty, Karen's former attorney, A. Scott Bolden, released a statement stating that they were, quote, disappointed in the verdict. Mr. Bolden says that although we are disappointed in the jury's verdict, we are, of course, respect their decision and appreciate their time hearing our case. We continue to reserve Mrs. Huger's right to an appeal and intend to fully pursue justice on her behalf. We appreciate your support and prayers for Mrs. Huger and family at this time. Some people continue to blame Karen's lawyers. I strongly believe that Karen wanted her lawyers to fight this case. And I believe their statement before she fired them of her wanting to appeal, I believe that was Karen saying we should appeal it. I really feel that this was at the direction of herself to her attorneys. Karen is continuing not to show any accountability, and this goes back to what I've been saying about this whole situation. I think, yes, jail time might do something. They're only seeking 6 months jail time. I strongly believe what Karen needs is a break from Real Housewives of Potomac, because I think it's her ego that is making her not take any sort of accountability right now, because this behavior has not been checked. As always, I want to know your thoughts and reactions. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.